Yeah, the contest rages on. Later today, there will be a fierce competition at the ongoing National Science and Maths Quiz. 3 tough contests are going to take place. Kufuridia Tech versus Pope John SHS versus Notre Dame Girls. And then Presec Legon versus Oforipening SHS versus Asin State College. Also Archbishop Porter Girls SHS versus St. John's School versus Tamale SHS. We're going to be live from Presec Legon to gauge the mood of students there ahead of the contest. So stay tuned for that. But I'll be perfectly honest with you. There's only one competition. There's only one contest. All of you, I'm sure, are joining me in anticipation of the St. Augustine's Fansipim Swedru Secondary School contest. And it's a big grudge match. Although for me, the only thing I'm interested in is by how many points will Swedru beat Kwabuchi, because as for Gasco, we are winning, right? All right, now JoyNews' investigations have uncovered massive hoarding of premix fuel by well-connected cartels at the country's landing beaches in the western and central regions, in spite of government's intervention to clamp down the National Premix Fuel Committee regulations. It's an offense to hoard premix fuel, but JoyNews' Kwete Nate reports that these premix lords operate with impunity in broad daylight. Now let's check out some highlights of the latest Hotline documentary on this. It's called Premix Cartels, and when we return, we're going to speak to the editor of Hotline Documentaries, Fifi Kumson, right here in the studio.
Constant supply of premix fuel is critical for the survival of a fishing industry in Ghana. According to the Fisheries and Aquaculture Development Ministry, millions of liters of fuel are supplied to fishermen annually. In 2018, 72 million liters of premix was lifted from the Tema Oil refinery to various landing beaches. Yet, hundreds of fishermen sometimes struggle to get the fuel to buy. For an industry that depends so much on the supply of premix fuel, this is not only a livelihood issue, it is also political. That is why President Akufo-Addo is paying a lot of attention to premix fuel.
To promote the effective and efficient distribution of premix fuel, we will continue to use the premix fuel tracking system and audit landing beaches measures, which have ensured that since November, there's been no report of premix diversion, a marked improvement from the past.
But has he?
I want to what the petrol maybe a better catch up band day. Oh, my because you won't go far or landing beach. No, my one year a big cry about electricity. I mean, bigger or child or classroom teacher. No, what now but two premise no, not to my hand. In John Wangas, what band will be bad in this year? It be catch up band, said the man. Diversion
of premix fuel may have been dealt with by this administration, but there are teething challenges that continue to linger and give fishermen sleepless nights in coastal communities. In this documentary, I take you on a rather dangerous journey to expose disturbing happenings with the supply of premix fuel. I will dig into the unusual supply of premix in some communities, the underhand dealings of a cartel hoarding and trading premix at exorbitant prices, and the artificial shortages these cartels create. The regulations of a premix fuel committee demand that a fisherman gets a maximum of 1 barrel of a fuel per month. Even that quantity is for fishermen with large boats and canoes. And the fuel is to be sold directly to the fishermen and not middlemen. But during my trip, I discovered many middlemen aggressively buying, hoarding, and selling premix fuel against the law.
Oh, they have been complaining a lot. They have been complaining a lot. They said, oh, no, they are not, the government is not helping them. The government is not helping them. Even though they have brought in free education, so that is their main work that they do. So if they cannot get fuel for fishing, it affects them, the whole family.
I have come to the Central region. It has many poor communities whose livelihoods depend on fishing. Although there's constant supply of premix fuel to the many fishing communities here, for the ordinary fisherman, getting a gallon of a fuel to buy can be a real struggle. However, for those who have money, it is easy to invest.
Yeah, we stopped that because we saw you were hooked. Fascinating stuff. Don't miss the full documentary when it comes out. But the editor of Hotline Documentaries is here with us, Fifi Kumson, to throw a bit more light on this issue and how the team approached the story. Fifi, some fascinating stuff being revealed there. Clearly a big problem for the fishing community and for all of us who depend on that, that industry. So talk to me about how the team approached the story and what it is that made this problem so prominent.
I mean, we learned about this a problem in communities across the country, especially the coastal communities. And as you know, government took some steps, measures to deal with this cartel and the problem that they create. So Kwetenate and the rest of the investigation team went undercover trying to understand the issues and how these people are operating. So we went to Elmina, we went to some part of the western region, some part of the central region, and other parts of the country, engaging with fishermen, trying to understand first how the premix fuel flows into where they are, how distribution goes, and so on and so forth. Then we discovered that apparently every fisherman is supposed to get just a barrel of fuel a month. However, there are, if you like, premix investors, premix fuel investors, people who are really doing business, investing in the purchase of premix fuel. So they don't get one barrel, they get multiple barrels. In fact, some get 10 barrels, 20 barrels, and so on and so forth. One liter is supposed to go for 7 cedis 30 pesos. These guys who divert, hoard the fuel, sell it at 15 Ghana cedis per liter.
And of course, they've created a shortage.
Absolutely.
So they make a profit.
They create the shortage and then profit from it. So that is what is happening in the coastal communities. And this is very bad for government, bad for the people, and this must stop. And this is what we set out to expose.
And of course, it's in complete contravention of the law.
Absolutely.
So what a troubling state of affairs, especially for fishermen who are now getting ready to come out of a closed season and hoping to make some money if the closed season has worked, to find that they are facing shortages like this, and people are profiting from it is a shocking.
And the point is that there's been a task force that is supposed to deal with this. We know that the task force, some way, somehow, has been trying to crack down the problem. I mean, ensure that the problem does not persist. But we can report that really the problem is there, and government would have to perhaps step up its game, step up efforts to deal with it. So fishermen are suffering, a lot of them. These are very poor men and women who are trying to eke out a living. And in these communities, we have the situation where fuel that is supposed to be given them at 7 cedis 30 is going for 15 cedis. That should not be the case at all for these people.
Well, the task force clearly is not effective. They certainly need to do more. Otherwise, what is the point? Well, Vivi, so when is this going to air?
Today, 8:30 p.m. It will be on the JoyNews channel, and on Thursday it will be on the Super Morning Show at 8:30.
Yeah, well, don't miss it. Make sure you catch it all. The latest work of the JoyNews Hotline Documentary team.